A core principle I have found over the past years, and I didn't believe this 15 years ago, and maybe you know it or you know it to be true. It's not what we add in life, it's what we subtract. So if you've heard about this whole snake and the horse business, personally, full disclosure, I have not believed in this Chinese year, whatever stuff in the past. However, I have found that it's very, very accurate, very, very true. And talk to friends, clients, colleagues, family, you name it. A lot of people are going through the same stuff where they're, releasing things or shedding things, or people are walking out of their lives, or they're being tested, or they're getting fired, or they're wondering they shouldn't work this job anymore. So what I was thinking is, in this last week, it's not about what you add to your life, but it's about what you get rid of, or said differently, what you're not going to do. What if you were to live the next year, maybe the next decade even, if you want to, that you were going to choose yourself first? No, that might seem easy. Maybe not. Sounds easy. By choose yourself first, and why I said, we talked about earlier what to subtract, it's knowing what's not the truth of who you are. Sometimes we've chosen relationships as guys, especially as anxious or formerly anxious guys, or that can come up from time to time, that we've chosen someone who doesn't choose us. I can think back to a relationship a couple years ago where I kept feeling that way, and it was the first time I'd ever had that. It drove me fucking mad. Drove me crazy. And you know what? I stayed in the relationship back then. This was started a few years ago. So I chose trying to prop up the relationship rather than choosing myself. And for some of us guys, it actually could mean kind of the opposite thing of going, man, I met this girl. She's really different. I've never had a connection with this girl like anyone else. Right? And you can go, I think we've got to break up. So in that case, that's actually not choosing you. Probably. Not necessarily, but that can be choosing fear of, oh fuck, I met this girl and I really like her. And what if I'm going to be that devoted and that vulnerable to her, and it's going to freak me out, and I've never been in a situation like this before. This feels more vulnerable. Let me just bounce. Whatever it is for you, choosing who you are, what you want, and what to say, ciao pescado, see you later alligator, and bounce. I've seen a lot of guys who show up anxious, against more so staying in the relationships too long, and kind of lose themselves in the process. There's a lot of women who do this too. It usually shows up, whoever shows up the more anxious in the relationship. What if this next year, if what they say is true, which, real talk, I don't know what this Chinese stuff, whatever it is, it's been thousands of years and this and that. At the end of the day, does what you're listening to, and this has been my conclusion, my decision, does it serve you? Oh, okay, you notice a lot of stuff's been falling away. We're coming into a new year where we are going to set all these new beginnings, and that's going to be the catalyst for the next decade. Awesome. Then if that serves, I would go with that. It's personally my take. What kind of life would you have if from your heart you chose yourself and what you really wanted first? I went back to the gym today. I did physical therapy. That was actually more impressive. I did physical therapy for my spine for the first time since September. And it felt nice. It took long as shit. It took an hour and 15 minutes. I didn't really want to be doing that for an hour and 15 minutes, but I fucking did it. I turned it into a weird ceremony. I did not want to do that. And then afterwards, I did not want to go to the gym. By me doing those two things, I was choosing myself. Because I wouldn't say physical therapy is scary, but when I know it's going to take me, like, if I can just go to the gym and get in and get out, I feel good about that. But I'm like, oh, I got to protect my spine and really take care of my back. And yeah, it felt weird to go, a bit weird a month ago when I was boxing. But it's ultimately choosing the future I want. It's choosing me. I was going through something stressful this last weekend, and I hadn't had the urge in a while, and I'm in this really strict detox, which I've been in this detox now 6 weeks. I got 3 more months to go. And I was just like, I could feel that come up, and maybe you can relate. I'm like, I need to have some wine. It's the weekend. Maybe I have some. Maybe it's organic. Well, it wasn't organic. I did have some. It was in the apartment, but I did not consume any. I did not drink any. Because looking back, and I hadn't thought of this at the time, but that's not choosing me. That's choosing the fear of the moment. And sometimes when we say yes to things or no to things, we're doing it from a place of fear or uncertainty. Your heart knows the truth. And that's not something you need you need a YouTube video, maybe a meditation, maybe an ayahuasca, maybe a long walk in the woods, but your heart already knows the truth. Even if it freaks out your mind. What would you say yes to, and what would you say no to in this next week? If you knew you were going to choose yourself and choose life on your terms and the life you want to create for the next decade, and these next few weeks really played a role. Like how the next few weeks, let's even say month, how the next month shaped is setting the foundation for the next decade of your life. And even if it's uncomfortable, and maybe it sucks much more than going to the gym and doing physical therapy or wanting to go out or drink and not doing it. Those are some of mine. Maybe yours is finally committing to the person you've been afraid to commit, or finally walking away from the relationship that doesn't serve you. Or it's finally learning something new on the internet so you can start that business you've been talking about or continue it. Or maybe it's about, deciding it's time to show up differently for your children. Deciding what you can't listen to anymore is not healthy from your ex-wife, but you've tried to be accommodating. Something in you knows what's true, the depth of what's true in your heart, and it's something someone can actually give you. People can create environments, people can ask you questions, but it's ultimately something special, unique, like a what do you call it, a thumbprint that's unique to you that lives inside of you. What if, taking this next month to the next year, to the next decade, you started to choose yourself, and as you chose yourself, things just started to line up. The relationship worked out, or like I said, you said goodbye, or like money's coming in, or I talked to someone today and they had let go of some stuff. He's like, you know what, and I'm going to go out and do it. I'm going to let go of this. And he's like, I got a random email the next day of someone wanting to offer me a job, and I'm doing my other thing. Everything worked out perfect. He's like, I had no idea that person would reach out to me. What if in this next week you could just let go? It's a weird, energetic time, and it can be an important time to have extra compassion with yourself and extra compassion with those around you that you love. Yeah, it's a really important time to take care of yourself, actually. Seeing what I'm seeing, again, from friends, clients, myself, it's a really important time to take care of yourself. And I'll leave you with this. If God came down, the universe, your higher self, whatever you believe, whatever you want to call it, came down and said how you make decisions and how you honor yourself and respect yourself and what you say yes to and what you say no to for the next month will actually lay the foundation for the next decade of your life. What are some of those honest conversations you need to have with yourself, even if they're hard? even if you need to go outside and smoke a Cuban tonight, which would be a great idea, and do some journaling on what you need to let go of, what you need to say no to, and what you need to say yes to. That's ultimately choosing you, your heart, and your deepest truth. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon.